Whoa! And we are live with Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Pandaemonium Part 2! It's time for more raids! Let's go! Time for me to lay on the floor like a dead man. Because it occurs to me, early this morning, thoughts while having a shower, that, the reason why a lot of the fights seem unbalanced is because they're balanced for the 660 gear that'll come out towards the end of the expansion. You know, the stuff that's not here yet. Which is great. Or at least the stuff that'll be out in that time span. So like 640 and up. But again, that doesn't exist yet. Anyway, an unwelcome visitor. Claudian's eyes are brimming with the excitement of discovery. Let's get this done. I want to do some reading. John, I've made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers. And I must say, Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recount of events. Who said anything about composed? Hey, I don't recall saying I wanted that. Ah, yes, of course. My apologies, John. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I've quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. Can I kick whoever this little potato is for being rude? Just be like, rude potato, kick. Ahem, in that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning. With a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides, containing the memories of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandaemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creatures under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions Themis and Ericthonius was sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandaemonium, a presence yet stirs, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Yes, that's about right. Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memory stored within. Analysis of the pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole. And indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will John grace us with his protection? I'm afraid he has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Ruisinod, namely to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandaemonium, where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversal from the crystal tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It'd be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. You can't mean, do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you to take good care of the laboratory while in my absence. Blah, 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 blah. One moment. That was weird. Anyway, where was I? I apologize for the somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. It was a call asking if I wanted to buy a house, but I'm like, my friend's a real estate agent. I'm just gonna go to him when I want to buy a house. Indeed, he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke only to you last time, none but the Professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely after some time alone he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for this crystal seemed to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, John, it might be best to return to Pandaemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandaemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creatures confined within Pandaemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. If we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Ah, brilliant! Delving into these records may shed light on creatures John has yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only his strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Be this way? Yeah. Wait. Hold on. The world unsundered is... That's funny. And we don't have the 14th or 13th. I need to talk to my retainer that's selling stuff, but it's whatever. Anyway, this is the first patch where I'm a red mage main. Speak with the archivist. Okay. You seek records of Pandaemonium's creations. Master Themis has just finished perusing the very same. I should not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I've saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. As should we, for I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandaemonium's protective boards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Eric Thonius' capacity to keep watch over Asphodelis while I'm away. He works diligently, Master Interment, that he might deliver the creations back to the cages by his own hand. Thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us both here, I'd ask you to accompany me while I attend to another matter. More idle suspicions that I would like to chase down. Rest assured that it shall not take long. Simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the news to Pandaemonium. No. Yeah. Anyway. Primordial? Oh, boo. I mean, it is indeed that. Yeah, I'm gonna be going back and forth in my chair. It's just for comfort. As I have pondered our expedition to Pandaemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the waters we encountered felt for La Habrea, whether it be for good or ill. Hesperos and Erichthonios were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looks to his father with bold hatred. Yeah, someone please explain to me why La Habrea's kid hates him. I don't think La Habrea was like some evil megalomaniac back in the day. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions toward a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself, it is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandaemonium seem to view La Habrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they have all been drawn to him. There are many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my questions to a member of the Words of La Habrea. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you're conducting an investigation of Pandemonium and wish to know of its origins. Indeed, in particular I wish to know why exactly Pandemonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the Words of La Habrea. After all, why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first I thought it to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could be easily ushered into their new homes. Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of La Habrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited information, I cannot but feel that the Academia Aniter would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmised, the majority of the creations kept within Pandemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interests changed. Failures of creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandemonium's researchers. That is quite the change, and in fact, it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subject of research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved for the chief keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So, if Pandemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? I know not what you're suggesting, but the keywords also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master La Habrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit, as of late, their communication has been somewhat sporadic. We but recently received a report from one of the keywords stating that all is well within Pandaemonium's halls. Really? And you are certain that a keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communications suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence, confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. Then I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. Cap? All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to Pandaemonium with haste. Wait, really? It's that close? That's not even like fly there. That's literally just walk. Like, you don't even need sprint for this. I cannot guess as to why this report hasn't arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we'd be remiss to leave Eric Thonius at the mercy of their machinations. Let's hope no harm has befallen him. The man is probably unconscious. Is La Habre evil? Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? There is something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? La Habrea. Probably. I know this creature. A familiar of the Phoenix. But that monster is locked away. That it is. In spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must. With control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, 'tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words. I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there's no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of La Habrea, your father. Not La Habrea, then. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I think. I have heard those words many times. The scolding of a tutor whose student struggled to grasp the most rudimentary lessons. Seething with disgust. No. I have not told that to anyone, not even keyword Hesperus. That can only mean one thing. That still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Habrea. Oh, it is La Habrea. That's great. At last, you move to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, nevertheless. Wait, is it or not? What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandaemonium's great experiment. There's the affection. Remember, tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you... Uninvited guests join our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favors you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I'm no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperus low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. So La Habrea has always been crazy then. And here I thought his crazy came from the 10,000 years of you know, like with Emmett Selk and Elidibus. Because we know Emmett Selk and Elidibus went, you know, off the deep end because of the 10,000-year-old wait. Anyway, great. We learned. Thank you. If you had shown up even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There's but one person who can hold thrall over familiar creation and keyword alike. Yeah. Dear old dad! And here I was hoping to maybe like him at the end of this. Heaven's Eye is the choice. Heaven's Eye is the one that sells for the most currently. And so there could be one conclusion. La Habrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There's logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider it experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You have met him, yes? Do you think he's capable of this? The one I met, yes. The one from 10,000 years ago. I don't know. We can't be sure because we know Elidibus and Emet-Selch of the big three. Elidibus and Emet-Selch, their attitudes in the modern day was a result of the 10,000-year difference from this point and when we met them. Whereas we never learned. It was grief. In Emet-Selch's case, it's grief. In Elidibus's case, it's like partially grief, partially just like I gave up everything, even my own life, and we still failed. Kind of thing. Like, it was more anger than anything, but like, what do I say? Yes, the first one is correct. La Habrea is far more capable than Themis is aware of, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's still too early to say for certain. It truly is a puzzle with many missing pieces. Still, I see you do not deny the outright possibility that La Habrea is a man with few scruples. We're not denying it, but you know, I don't know. Like they never gave us La Habrea's fucking past before now. That alone should be enough, but let me assure you, La Habrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Though we met but briefly, the impression you left on me stands a stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandaemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomfiting to behold. Yeah. Then we must move forward with the excess of caution. La Habrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandemonium. We could safely assume the other keywords won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Ericthonius' side in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? Sure. Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scales somewhat. Trust you shall be liberal with your weight. The way it's described is weird. Phantom warriors. Abyssos, the fifth circle. That was fast. Yeah. I'm hoping this doesn't take too long. Oh god, this thing has poison, doesn't it? Mythic creation, proto-carb... It's a carbuncle! That's great. Ayo, summoners, come get your mans. Look, it's a butler. Oh, we got 2 red mages. Let's go. 4 healers. Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh, jeez. Um. Oh! Oh, that's bad. This is problematic. That's a white. That's a white. If they don't start going on like a rezzing spree, that's a white. Okay, we're all back up. Oh. We're back where we started. That's annoying. That's fine. It's fine because we're back. We're all back. Get riggedy wrecked. Oh, that's hilarious. Huh? Wait. I got one shot? Okay. That makes absolutely no sense, but sure, whatever. I think I got off the full combo set like once. Got two. Okay, so minus that one time where I got one shot, seemingly for no reason. That's actually a pretty good raid. Oh, look at it. The raids are pretty good generally. It's just sometimes they got like one or two mechanics that are just like, this is unnecessary. Look, you can get through them pretty easily, but like, my goodness, is it unnecessary? All right, the player commendation, loot. And I got a helmet. Alright, so I guess this week I get a helmet? I'm only after the weapon one anyway. For the tombstone. So this is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Ericthonius and I were conveyed not far from here. Seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are forced to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. Nope, it is La Habrea. Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long, but I believe we can forego introductions, unless I have misread you. Am I supposed to know who you are? I understand that my son's rhetoric is rarely compelling. But come now, I can be none other than La Habrea of the Convocation of 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Uh, what is this? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin ether, and an unfamiliar composition besides. It is of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will beget the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Ericthonius' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother, you would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Ericthonius, we are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies' protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Ericthonius, wait. There's a question I must needs ask first. If you truly are La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Same by name. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as are you. I have my answer. The library that I knew took pride in the convocation and would never suffer its denigration. It's not La Habrea! You sully his station with this farce. Themis, what are you saying? La Habrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Themis. Let's go! What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Let's go, baby! Okay, I did not see that one coming, but yes, we finally have Elidibus's name. Imposter, you have no right to claim that form, that mask. What? Who? Okay. Interesting. 'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations, I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Hephaestus. Ericthonius, listen well, I am Hephaestus. And it is I whom you should call father. Huh? What in the name of creation? They have the same eye color though. We would do well not to stand idle while our enemies about. I believe an explanation is in order, Elidibus. Let us return to safety so you may provide it. Ah, that sounds more like the La Habrea I know. So Themis is a little bit. And we know Logrif is Gaia. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Habrea said, I am Elidibus, one of the convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which did not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. Can we be like I knew it was you? I had a feeling. I did not. I did not know this was uh I did not know that this was Elidibus. I can't say I had a feeling. So the correct answer would be whatever your name is, you're still Themis to me, which is accurate to how I treat Hades and Vina and Hermes. Um, or I know a thing or two about deception, which, as science, we are aware of how to do the sneaky sneaky. You know what? I'm gonna go with number two. Such words are comforting, truly. I shall offer an explanation in time, but first let me assure you my choices were not born from animosity. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. This is cool. This is cool. I like. Please help him. Save him. Will do. Saving people is what I do. Mysterious disembodied voice. It's not terrifying at all. Nope. Not one bit. As you're aware of by now, I am known as Elidibus. Elidibus. After my dear friend Azam and I detected irregularities in Pandaemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure La Habrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, I'd like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azam nor I had ever met you in the flesh, you came with his highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world, a guiding star so similar to himself was out there amused Azam to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in his heart that you would be a formidable ally. Amused him to no end. Yeah, that is accurate even to me. Fair enough. Furthermore, I've heard stories that Mistress Vina, who held the position of Azam previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. Well, with that, I'm gonna be right back. I'm back. Okay, alright. So the mystery of Themis is revealed. We've met La Habrea. La Habrea's got some explaining to do. Uh, but it's fine. A keyword's jail. Heaven's Eye! Woo! More monies! How many do I have of Heaven's Eye? I'll have 4. All of this is just money on the market board. Until, thing. Anyway. Ericthonius is resolutely avoiding his father's eye. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, La Habrea. And truth be told, I'd hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself La Habrea, and why is he spitting... Why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandaemonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. No, we deserve way more than a cursory explanation. But, you know, this is La Habrea. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandaemonium, including the fact that Azim and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywords stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestus' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning. I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another to masquerade as one of the convocation, not without good reason at least. As you well know, the name La Habrea is but a marker of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hephaestus has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. Interesting! So La Habrea's original name is Hephaestus. Okay, we're learning all the things right now. Do we have the names for all of the convocation, though? He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry. A reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandaemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster unto our star. As chief keyword of Pandaemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting La Habrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandaemonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Ericthonius' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azim and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You've spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that John has stood against. John, is it? A being of such ether as I have never seen. What are you? He is the guiding star that should lead us safely through this. Thanks to his stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, John. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. As curious as I am about the emissary thing, it is too... I'm gonna go with the emissary one. That's brilliant. Elidibus, the emissary, may speak on our behalf. Should he judge our approach the more sound, even La Habre would be compelled to listen. Oh yeah! He's just like, oh shit. And now everyone's just like looking at him. As Elidibus, I am duty bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Themis can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust that you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandaemonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers. And neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness John's might and Ericthonius' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. Such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandaemonium. I mean, look, if we can't do it, it's best it's gone. Like, even I'll admit that one. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. John, come find me when you're finished. Poor Ericthonius. So his name is Hephaestus. We now know the Paragon's names. Themis, Hades, Hephaestus. Ericthonius is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray lend an ear to his troubles, that their weight might be lightened. The person who needs to lend an ear is his dad. What? Oh. I thought the gateway was blocked, but apparently not. I love it. There's no map. It's so funny. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Habrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Hephaestus has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandaemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. That's concerning. While La Habrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hephaestus would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not La Habrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quick he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think, John? Does the La Habrea you know have any regard for the lives of others, or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? This age. Just how long has it been since last you met? Regardless, I'd like you to try and view him as he is now. Another opinion would be much appreciated. But it is plain there is much to consider. Thank you, John. It is easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Habrea that we are capable of saving Pandaemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssus. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those depths than any of us, and seeing as how we require every advantage we can afford, John, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities. You may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. Speak to La Habrea. I mean, sure. He once used my ally as a vessel. Bro, I'm not gonna tell his kid that. That's a terrible thing to mention. It should switch this to Elidibus, but I guess he's here as Themis as opposed to as Elidibus. Man is tall. Ericthonius appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Azem. Your unusual ether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I've seen, even among the countless concepts I have observed. Thing that I would encounter in existence I could not create by my own hand. Azem never ceases to surprise. The previous Azem was much the same. In taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elidibus have conducted yourselves in this manner. The true danger of Azem's nature is its tendency to infect all those he comes into contact with. Emetselk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssus, I take it. Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keyword's reach is far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they have been transferred to the deeper circles. Yet Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of Hegemone, keyword of Abyssus. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there is something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that that's because she's already been twisted into a Hemitheos, doubtless against her will. John, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate, and if we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Ericthonius. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Ah! Abyssos, the 6th circle, now accessible. Oh god. Oh god. I swear these two are so bad. Like, come on! $20. That means the next one's gonna be 605. It's great. Huh? For fuck's sake. The people are being wild on Twitter again. Wait, already? We're already on the part where we're fighting, ancients. Time for me to even more trash. Hemetheos, Hegemone. Huh? Oh, fuck. That one's like easy. I love it. Like that mechanic. It can get you. Damn. I got double hit. I got one more comboed. That's... That's some wombo combo shit right there. I got pixel peeped. That's like just barely in frame, like that one clip I have on my computer, where I got hit and then healed immediately because I was just like 1 pixel in frame. Oh, cool. A streamer I follow is debating a dude on whether or not a perfectly fair and balanced slogan is unfair or not. Nah, it's perfectly fair and balanced. The slogan is perfectly fair and balanced. It's fine. Unless we're talking about in anime or TV shows, just in general. It's just sealed her away. Okay, that was a pretty fun fight. Me hoping I get the helmet. I got the helm. The healers should be the last people to leave the dungeon. Like, I'm not even sorry for saying that. I, as a DPS, believe that the healers should be the last people to leave. We've won. The keyword is sealed away and alive this time. La Habrea can't deny us now. Sure you can. Heaven's eye for the monies. Okay, be right back. And yes, for those curious, the easiest way to make money is material. Just do dailies, constantly make material. Make material of the one that's selling the worth the most. So for me, it's Heaven's Eye. So just make a constant like Heaven's Eye, and then just like slowly, so that the market doesn't crash, sell it. I know someone's gonna be like, oh no, just put 99 of that. No, don't do that. You're gonna crash the market and it's gonna be annoying. Erichthonius seems eager to dispel La Habrea's doubts. Oh no. Please, my dude. Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemone has been sealed away, and now you have no choice but to admit the merit in our methods. You have the right of it. I'm not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Oof! Moreover, this being, ether as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hemitheos, has made this ordeal far more interesting. And then we have leave to continue. As for that, there's one among you whose very presence puts the others at risk. 'Twould be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandaemonium. And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. I can't even disagree. Could be worded infinitely better. This man can word it infinitely better. But, yeah. Although, to be fair, whose fault is it that he can't do it? Is it the father who neglected him? Neglected to teach him how to do better? So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte can upraise his companions. That's something that John and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I'm inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it is that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path and to act before that path lies close to us. Oh boy! Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains. That's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm worried that destroying Pandaemonium would rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. I mean, I can do that. And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandaemonium again. You are capable, that much is plain, yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle, this is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant to the folly of Hephaestus' words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Erichthonius. I have already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it to see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives. What was that foolish braying about saving them? Merely performance to hide your childish devotion to your mother. Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. We should first discuss. Oh, Ericthonius is about to... You would call me fool? You who murdered your wife in service of your ambition, for the sake of the star, no doubt. Ugh, I can hear again that voice inside my head. I know who to follow, Hephaestus. Father. Mother, oh, I love you so, and this voice will guide me to you. No, listen not, Ericthonius. So that voice is Athena. Apologies, you taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder. That voice is probably Athena, somehow. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that voice is Athena. So our next battle is Ericthonius. That's great! Hephaestus is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Ericthonius, it made short work of his reason. From the moment he laid eyes upon me, I could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. 'Twas but a matter of time until it spilled forth, and that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Ericthonius himself failed to notice until it was too late. If this is the measure of Hephaestus' power, then the other keywords had little chance to resist it. We saw his work during our encounter with Hesperus. Doubtless Hephaestus' magics fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there was something else besides. Did you not feel the presence of another? As I thought, someone was trying to warn Ericthonius, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywords? Alas, their warning arrived too late. I had already provoked Ericthonius past the point of no return. I bear the burden of this failure. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy, and Hephaestus knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. So he does care! There's time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, giving us a firm foothold from which to brave Pandaemonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Unfortunately, there's only part 2 right now. Just as with Hesperus, Ericthonius is in danger of being consumed by Hephaestus' spell. However, I have faith that he will not easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear. La Habrea, pray tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait. The deepest level of Pandaemonium is called Tartarus, and your passage shall be challenged not only by keyword. Hephaestus has laid traps in every corner of its halls. You have no hope of surviving far past the threshold. That, I expect, is where John shall shine. His dissolute ether shall allow him to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaestus had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. My uber thin ether. Then time is of the essence. Hephaestus is already well aware that you can match keyword in battle. He will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defenses at your leisure. I wish it would. Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Ericthonius. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there is the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Ericthonius' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drives our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it? I do acknowledge it. I wish only to spare those that feel it still greater pain. I'm sorry, that one has to be me. How dare you? Yeah, yeah, that's the response I was hoping for. No, no, you're right. Wait, huh? None? What? Excuse? You're supposed to be angry, not admit I'm. Oh, fuck. Now I'm disappointed. But also happy. No, no, you're right. The blame for Erchthonius' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Yeah, no shit. Very well, I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. The remaining keyword is Agdistis. She has served in Pandaemonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless even among the keywords. Oh no! No, 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 no. That's bad. That's actually bad. It's cute though. Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your ether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Agdistis. We shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight and phantom allies to aid you. As for the interment, I have yet to think of a foolproof method. Interment shall not be necessary. From here, I can sense Actistis' essence, but it is scarcely recognizable. Hephaestus was more ambitious with her than he was with Hegemone. She has been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains. Oh! Oh. We can but take comfort in what a mercy the underworld will be to her. Well, fuck Hephaestus, I guess. This false Hephaestus, this false deity. Abyssus, the seventh circle, now accessible. Uh, Wait, I swear I read something about no. Oh, not allowed. The seventh circle. By the way, for those watching on the Twitch and whatnot, where's my commands? If you haven't already, follow me on the various social medias. I think Discord's also linked in the link tree. I forget to mention that, like, a lot. But yeah, y'all should, if you haven't. is on? Hold on. What is in my? Let's see. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, the subreddit, merch, the Dead Pokemon channel. Yeah, Discord's definitely in there. And the subreddit that I completely have neglected this entire time since I made it. But yes, please join the subreddit so that I stop forgetting to forgetting it. Oh wow, we're actually gonna wait? We're actually being forced to wait now. Oh, thank goodness. So it is indeed this stuff. Okay. Uh, I can't like properly like add them and whatnot. Because if I switch over, oh no, I can cast Glabbers. Okay, then never mind. Yeet. This is stuff to craft my glamour stuff, but then like it doesn't work. Like I can't just get the pieces myself. I like need someone else, and it's just like it's expensive and. Excuse me. Oh, we're actually just gonna wait. Cool. Oh. Oh, I need more monitors, damn it. My computer can only support 2, though. I'm gonna have to do these weekly. I think the Glea is free, so I can just go in and grab the coins. Oh, jeez. We have a chicken. Fuck's sake. Rook, I hate you. I hate you for existing. Whee! Of course, it's got a fall mechanic. Well, there goes that fight. Nope, if it's got a fall mechanic, I'm not dealing with it. Nope. I hate it. It's got a fucking fall mechanic. I hate it. I'm gonna wait for the reset. Bro? I got whacked and now I'm dead? How? You'd think after the nonsense that was... I can't hear the... I can't hear the audio, so look at OBS to make sure you guys can still hear it. Killed me. That's great. Of course, this fight is toxic as all fuck. Can I go back to preserve the balance if I dare? I much prefer that mechanic. At least that one makes sense. The boss is literally telling us what to do! Um, that was completely on me, but like, please, proper balancing. This needs to. I got res to death. We've got 3 red mages, and people are still dying. I got rezzed into death. What kind of mechanic is this? For sake. I try and keep like a positive air about the stream and whatnot, but Endwalker is making it very difficult. And it was going so well too. I kind of want to ask to be left on the floor. That's where I'm at with this fight right now. Just let me be dead. I swear, not even Eden is this bad. E12 was just like, please end me. But then you didn't get your ending, and then it's just like, well, guess I'm gonna live. Oh no. I got... toxic! This entire fight is toxic as fuck. This is why we saved the LB3. You're just going full melee on this one. Oh boy. It makes me wish I had Reaper on. Ah! Rook has the right of it. Cause I keep dying, so I can't just properly like up my fucking like gauge. Okay. I managed to get that one done. I can't say. Don't LB3 just yet. Okay, now one of the DPS can LB3. Ugh. Fight bad. I think I just barely survived that. But poor, whatever her name is. I've already forgotten it. Um... Okay, never mind. That would have been good with Dancer. Because of this, like, you need to be far, but you can't, like, you don't have a gauge. You can't, like, increase your gauge. You need to just be there. The moment Agdistis was slain, the flow of ether and Pandaemonium focused keenly on this location, creating a tunnel of sorts through which we could quickly convey ourselves. 'Twas almost as if we were ushered here. The space was created with care and concealed with powerful wards. Only a key ward would have been able to detect it, and even then with great difficulty. Ergo. If only I could restore Tartarus to order, but I am afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. It has been too long, Master La Habrea. Likewise, keyword Agdistis. I should not be surprised you're able to break free of Hephaestus' spells, even diminished as you were. It was not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses dig into one's heart, creating a storm of emotions that is all too easy to become lost in. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus am I able to appear before you now. Even while my body was powerless to resist Hephaestus' commands, some small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance. It even managed to speak to the outside world. The report, that was you. Doubtless you recognize my voice from the many times I have called out to you. The hope that those pleas would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. So it wasn't Athena. I'm upset. I was hoping like her spirit or something would be around, but I guess this works too. She's cute. All the cute ones die. But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There's something you must know, that the tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. Forgive me for what I'm about to do, Master Lahabrea, but the story must be told. 'Tis the only way to understand Hephaestus' fixation on Erechthonius. No longer can you hide your heart away. Oh no. Hephaestus? No, the mask marks him as Lahabrea. Master Lahabrea had brought an end to Lady Athena's life, and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hephaestus. These are my recollections of the moments following. And you truly have no intention of revealing the truth to Erechthonius. My lesser half is now buried where none can find it. We'd be wise to do the same with our memory of this day. Blood should not sway the spirit, so, but Athena's teachings have warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. Erechthonius believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth. His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which shall inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? If that is what comes to pass, then so be it. Better to be burdened with hatred than the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul... Oh. Oh. Yikes. That Athena thought his body and soul mere tools to be used and discarded. Even were I to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me, or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to serve the star far from his parents' shadow. Ayo! Wait. So, Erechthonius loved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you've borne all this time. Such is Lahabrea's nature. Every action, every word a solution to life's greatest dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. Yeah, yikes. Just yikes. And what I have revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to Lahabrea to paint the rest for you. And for Erechthonius, I hope. Thank you, Actistus. I always admired you, you know. What choice did I have when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Good guy Lahabrea? Who knew? Well, I mean, I kind of suspected. Hephaestus has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must be prepared to bring our full strength to bear. Agnestis was ever a bold woman, even in her final moments, that she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad am I that she faced you as her last opponent. I could think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. La Habre would speak further of Athena's fate. Oh no. The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position here out of a sense of love or pride. It was merely because she knew he would be the most pliable test subject. I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say with certainty that Erichthonius could handle the weight of such betrayal after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long. Unfortunately, it seems not even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaestus has taken up Athena's research and succeeded in creating a hemithioi. Oh, that's great! I know not what his ultimate end is, but 'tis plain it is connected with the resurrection of Athena. That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct our course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we have returned Erichthonius to safety, in accordance with Actistus' last wish. Very well. I can at least assure you that finding him shall prove relatively simple now that Hephaestus can no longer bend Pandaemonium to his will. There is but one place left for him to find refuge, the Black Heart of Tartarus, where Athena built her testing compound. We can assume that Hephaestus will offer fierce resistance. I must focus my every effort on securing a safe means of approach. Lastly, you assume the duty of summoning John's Phantom Warriors. I have no objections. My ability to fight within Tartarus would be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal the final blow to Hephaestus myself. There is no need to dirty your hands with such a deed. I take it then that you have no intent to seal him away as before. In the presence I felt when I encountered Hephaestus bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he has become something far more wicked, and the same magics that once shackled him may very well shatter before the power he wields. On my pride as a researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I would not see these events play out again, and so he must be extinguished. Well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. So I'm pretty sure the reason why my headset keeps cutting out for me is because there's like a million like stuff using Wi-Fi like 2 rooms over. Well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. The 8th circle now accessible. I'm scared. I am scared and terrified of this fight. That last one has left me. What does Lahabre say? Let's continue Theo's research that Erichthonius is indispensable to his goals. He's safe, but for how much longer I cannot say. And is in sight. Return to me safely, friend. This has heavens as materia. The rest do not. Well, this does, but like. It's gonna shatter. Oh, I extracted a material. Yep. That which is easy to gather.
Ericthonios is mine, heart and soul. And with your death, none will be left to stop me.
Perfect imperfection. Hephaestus. Also, audio! Woo! I hit it. It's red now. Interesting. Ah, I should have switched over to Reaper. At least when I die as Reaper, it's like, ha ha ha, I'm wearing Dragoon armor.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison. From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight! Leave naught but ash in your wake. Let seep sorrow into your heart. A fitting death.
Bro. I fucking hate it when there are summoners around. Like, I can't see.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice. You will know my rage. Perish in flame's embrace. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger. From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight! I shall see my wish fulfilled.
What wish?
You are prey to be consumed. Sear flesh from bone.
Ooh.
Leave not but
Yeah,
out
yeah.
your wake.
There's not enough spacing.
A fitting death.
That was a misread. Let's try again. I got one, so it's doable.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice. You will know my rage. Fools praying before a
Whatever.
god.
I don't even know how to react to that one. That was just like, you know. Ugh.
Perish in flame's embrace. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger.
I'm not the only one who went down. This cursed fucking summon. There's a reason why when I play on my alt, I never use that one.
Flame my servants rise. I tire of this.
And it's quite simply
farce.
because it's too big. It literally takes up a person's entire viewpoint. So unless I'm in Narnia, or like Pluto, like
I I shall see my wish fulfilled. You are prey to be consumed.
I'm probably gonna get someone commenting about it. It's the meta, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's the meta is getting your party members killed. The game doesn't have a field of view. Whoa.
Sorrow into your heart.
Big enough. What the fuck was that attack that I inexpertly dodged because I didn't even. Why would you LP this early?
From fulgent flame my servants rise.
The fight itself is not bad though.
I tire of this.
So what?
farce.
Only 7? And this run is actually just like atrocious.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Or was it 6? Oh.
You will know my rage.
One of my deaths was bad positioning. One of them was I died to a summoner, blocking my view because I was just in range of the attack. I think the rest of them were just a misread. There's something else. I'm pretty sure I died 4 times, at least. Pandaemonium, and this is complete. Now, if only the mount was given for regular and not Savage, because the Phoenix mount was amazing, but I can't get it. Eum, because they were the one who resed me most. Need. I didn't get it. Sag. Need. I don't want this. Hold up. I'm actually just gonna wait until it pops this. I got it. Cool. I didn't get the minion, damn it! That means I have to do this again. I say that as if I don't have to do this again anyway. But that's next Tuesday. The chain of events that led to this moment began with my error, when out of mercy I confined you here. Now I break it and leave no trace of you behind. This is not over. I see you will not go peacefully. Even a cast-off would uphold his pride, though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hephaestus shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember the deeds of La Habrea once I fulfill Athena's ambition and bring Erichthonius' dream to life. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Ectonius, he knows not what his wish would beget, a truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? My wish. You would claim the name Hephaestus and call yourself his father, yet you blind his mind and body in dark chains. Bind, sorry. Your words and your pride ring hollow. Athena wanted her son by her side and he desires to return there. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared not for Erechthonius, beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but 'tis plain you are no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vowed that my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service to that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son, whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he is still my son, and I will not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You who are not but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. Oh. Mother, she... No, then who... How do I... Oh. Come back to us. We're gonna go with come back to us. I hear you. I owe you and Themis an apology. Athena. Did you ever? And La Habrea. I'll have my say. Oh. How? His mind was mine. I can't explain. John's words reached me through the haze. They rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. Wait, he believed La Habrea? Just... Oh, no. There's no way. How? When did you master these bonds? Just now. Oh, we've interred much worse. You want to help him? You worthless, you... Ah! Like, help him, apparently. Oh! The La Habrea crystal. It appears my failures have borne fruit after all. I mean, yeah. If at first you don't succeed, try again. There's a reason for that. It's why I still apply for jobs. You did well, son. Did he just say you did well? Was that an acknowledgement? Let's go. I'm glad that La Habrea wasn't the villain. I was like, there's no way. I refuse. I was gonna be pissed. With Hephaestus' essence contained in this crystal, when we safely return Erechthonius above, that he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You quite understated his adeptness in the art of interment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. He's like, dude, the man half out of his mind managed to succeed. That is some badassery right there. Oh, it's 1:35. Shit. I've been live for almost 3 hours. Chat, send help. Heavens Eye. Hey. I want to say never again, but the thing is, I have to do the 8th circle 3 more times for this round tombstone thingy. I don't know which of these gives the most. Labre is looking at Erechthonius with concern. Of course he is. He may have gone about it the wrong way, but he's still a caring father. Feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind, and for a blessing, it appears your body is none the worse for wear. I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandaemonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? Kinda? I see. Despite his muddled senses, Erechthonius felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course. Wasn't so noble as that. I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. La Habrea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past? Indeed, he was not but the parts of my memory and soul that I had cut away, a massive ether without a material vessel. Storing his essence within a crystal was the most logical choice. On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale of Hephaestus' creation and Athena's end. Yeah. I heard your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me. I would hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here, and what drove Athena to act as she did. I'm ready. I don't know about that. Even I'm not ready to hear this. And I didn't know her. Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the Words of La Habrea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she, that it was not unheard of for her to forget meals or even sleep. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in this endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means of creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can enhance and alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them. Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations. Such limitations as we were not meant to surpass. She sought to enter the realm of the gods. Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such a task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. For most, the thought would be an idle fancy, considered once and then discarded. Not so for Athena. As leader of the Words of La Habrea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with a creation. The weaknesses of one would be mitigated by the strength of the other, and the result could be something greater than we have ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail along the way. Our conversations became more frequent, and our platonic relationship grew into something much more. I take it I was born not soon after. Oh. Just so. I believed she bore true affection for me and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandaemonium was built and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishments as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandaemonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise. Oh no! And when you found out what she was doing, you killed her. I made haste to Pandaemonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Agdistis to keep watch from Tartarus' vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. As for what occurred next, 'tis best to see with your own eyes. Oh no. Is that me? Oh. You are well aware that our respect for our neighbors in Elpis, that out of respect for our neighbors in Elpis, the researchers of Pandaemonium are not to be masked. Yet you stand before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? What indeed? So quick you are to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in these halls since their inception. You must have known you could not conceal this from myself and Agdistis forever, as well you know that I cannot allow it to continue. I shall say this but once. Release Ericthonius, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down. I would meet my end at the hands of none other. However, ere my time is come, I'll have you know the why of it. Then you will not desist. Once you understand what has driven me this far, you shall see that stopping was never an option. The feelings of one weigh little against the needs of the entire star. Of course, of that I am well aware, but you did not deign to descend from your lofty height simply to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations, what possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great La Habrea, to embark upon the path to her downfall. History will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, La Habrea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever before. Impossible. You bonded your souls. Aye, that the boundaries between us would cease to be, she offered me everything, to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment, my mind was a storm of questions, yet one were the loudest. Did Athena ever truly love me? Oh! Oh! I am become the memory and mind. And I thee. Oh boy. That's a twist. Can you feel it? My heart, all that I am. Yes, as if it were my own. I fathom the desire to dissect the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, and not a single thought spared for another, for the star. How disappointing. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You have beheld my life's work. Try as you might to excise the memory, the seed of desire remains, and when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the self-same fervor. I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption in my soul ere your rotten insight spreads. Twas my weakness that let this fester, but never again. Today I cast aside fickle emotion and abide in duty alone. Oh. Today I renounce all that I was and live only as La Habrea. Thus did I forsake the part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh. Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. To go to such lengths to escape your memories, you nearly rewrote your very existence. Rest assured, the change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues in the convocation. Aegeorm and Emetzelk in particular made plain the suspicions they harbored. As well they should have. That you escaped with your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge it contained? I will not deny such considerations played into my decision, but my main motivation was fear. I had never attempted such a feat before. And the crystal was my sole recourse should something go awry with the remainder of my soul. In hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such measures and prepared a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty as a husband and father should, yet in truth he was but a puppet being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires. His goal was not to raise himself high, he thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again, that she might finish what she began. Yet for all of that, he and I were alike. We yet shared a fatal flaw, you see. Our need for control blinded us to other perspectives. While I was enthralled to Hephaestus, you called out to me. What say you now? Does La Habrea speak true? I just want to know one thing. Did you truly believe that hiding the truth was best for me, even knowing how I felt about my mother? The La Habrea I know had a fatal flaw after all. I'm still not convinced. I have said all that I can say. Now it is for you to choose to believe me, or not. The La Habrea I know holds duty above all else. I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don that mask once more. So before we climb out of this forsaken pit, I suppose I should say, thank you, Hephaestus. What? Hephaestus was far more than an imitation of Labrea. He was quite literally a part of him. Labrea to me is a man who thinks of naught but his duty. By casting aside the burden that Hephaestus represented, he shall become evermore himself in a way. I've said all that needs to be said. From this moment forward, I pledge my heart shall not lead me astray. Further enough, there is more I would yet discuss, but we should first return to Pandaemonium's gates. I'll gather my thoughts on the way. I should have gone in with full, like, ancient clothing. I should, next time. If I remember, I will go in full garb. I owe you an apology, John. It was due to my own inexperience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you thanks. If you and Themis hadn't chosen to brave the chaos occurring in Pandaemonium, then I would have never known Lahabrea's story. My father's story. It was a tale I too was fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Azem upon my return. I cannot help but wonder how much of this he foresaw. I'm afraid I cannot allow that in Lidibus. So long as you retain control of Pandaemonium, there is work to be done. But of course, I shall first free the remaining warders and restore this place to its former glory. Using the facilities in Tartarus, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I shall stay behind to oversee the process. That is well, but I must yet learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus' experiments, and how he intended to revive Athena. Such questions are best left unanswered. In fact, I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. And I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus' essence, that this mistake never again repeats. I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin, till I saw the one containing Hephaestus' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were. There is another. While imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process, storing a message, a warning even, will be something altogether more complex. This also means that someone besides the present company and Azem was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandaemonium. Yeah, that is strange. Then why would they not make themselves known, even now? No threats remain. Perhaps it was another one of the warders. We shall question them after they are freed. That task may take some time, a resource I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure, and we will share our results then. You've done more than enough for the time being. I am of the same mind. Leave the loose ends to us and continue upon your journey, or if you are so inclined, take a much-needed repose. This talk of journeys smacks of Azem. Gee, I wonder why! As well it should. He has pledged to keep moving until he has seen every corner of the world. If you do find yourself with a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to Lahabrea. You may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. Where is Lahabrea, and can I bring him the crystal? Speak with... Oh! Are we actually gonna go back? And... Okay. Okay. Where's Mericidia? This is Ilsabard. This is, Eorzea. This is Othard and Hingashi. Where's Mericidia? Is it like south? These streams that take forever are annoying. We've literally broken the, like, 3-hour barrier. Well, if it isn't John, excuse me if I'm not my usual chipper self, but we have not been without our difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudian commissioned for his search was lost some time ago, and now we have quite lost track of where he might be. And to make matters worse, an MGG has sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the ethereal sea. I was just on my way to the Itioscope, in fact. Please, you must come with me. Huh? Oh, heck. Heck. What? What is that? Is it real? Oh. Why is it that whenever danger visits the world, you are never far behind? Because it's my job to fight danger? And you two, Professor Claudian's assistants, I take it. As you arrived before me, I take it you are involved in this. I would thank you to furnish me with an explanation. That's from 10,000 years ago. Very scary thing full of very scary things. While the research summary you submitted to the forum gave us no cause for concern, these details are alarming. The professor's last message indicated he was on his way to Az's Law, but we know not whether he ever reached his destination. A rash endeavor even for Claudian, but he has ever allowed the thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. We have no recourse but to entreat Ishgard's aid in searching for him. As for that unsightly fortress which materialized in the ethereal sea, Pandaemonium, was it? It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled so as to minimize panic. We'll gather those with knowledge of the ethereal sea and continue monitoring it for further irregularities. Oh boy, so I'm guessing the last stretch is gonna be done on the source, as if, you know, in the present day, as it were. You two submit a detailed report to the forum at once. The emphasis on detail, yeah. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time that our investigation is concluded. Very good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here. Another overly concerned father who fucked up in being a concerned father. That is always so weird. This game has that. It has that, like, on deck, right? Where it's like, I'm a concerned father, but I'm gonna fuck up in regards to trying to protect my kids and putting them in even more danger than was absolutely necessary if I just opened my goddamn mouth in the first place. Anyway. Just when we need him the most, Professor Claudian remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him. We are left with scarce few straws to grasp at. While I'm but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are luckily related. The same party or phenomenon may be responsible for both. Conversely, I see now that my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandaemonium's pitiless spires of justice. I can only wonder if the facility itself traversed the ages. Did the creations within do the same? What are the keywords? But answers to these questions will come in time, I am sure. For now, I must do as Master Fortuno asked and write that report. As for you, John, pray get what rest Your responsibilities will allow. When next we call upon you, I wager we shall need you in prime condition. With that, we are done with part 2 of Pandaemonium. And therefore, that is the end of today's stream. I will be back tomorrow with the Endwalker Hildebrand quests. Look forward to that. But for now, I'm a tired boy.